So it stopped raining, thank God, so I've come up a different day. I've added 3 posts in, so today I'm going to do the rest of the fence. I'm going to take all this fence down, and my plan is to either leave the path in here or re-fence this, sort this out for the winter. I was going to leave this part until spring because it's just been covered over, but I was thinking maybe I can put the path down there and across, so I do actually walk across the grapevine every time I enter. I'm not sure whether or not to just put 2 beds down here symmetrical like this one and leave a path going all the way down. So if you can just give me your ideas, guys. Should I have a path over in the corner and walk around the plot, or should I just put an extra 2 beds, just because I just don't want it to be so symmetrical, you know? But so yeah, when my woods come, just want to get the fence up now ready for the winter. If I've got time in this episode, I'm going to try and fit in a plot tour as well, so you can have a good look around of how much I've done so far. The membrane's done obviously just to keep the weeds from growing. As you remember, this plot was completely overgrown. With most of it I've dug out the big weeds. So as you can see, I've got some giant leeks in, and I've also got some normal leeks. I've got a few lettuces growing over there as well. They are mainly for the chickens, to be honest. I tend to grow some over the winter months. So in this bed I've got Swedes, which I transplanted from my other plot, which I was quite shocked about that a lot of them took. I mean, some of them are looking absolutely fantastic. I mean, look at this one. I mean, they're having a bit of a bashing now with the slugs and things, but you know, we're constantly fighting, guys, with the other pests on plots, so we just got to learn to share. That's my motto anyway. I've got some purple sprouting broccoli that I had off Malcolm Kingswells. So yeah, if you haven't seen his plot, I shall put a link in the description so you can go over and have a look at his page, because he's so experienced in some of the things he does, and he's got chickens as well. So, and he's also he has a plot in a Welsh valley. So yeah, we've got some Savoys come in and some red cabbages. In this bed I've got some winter onions. I just do need a bit of weeding, to be honest. And I also got some how did that get in there? And in here I've also got some shallots. It just needs a good weeding now, but I'm not going to do it until they come up a little bit more. This is quite a new bed, obviously, because it's a new plot. But what I'm really happy about is that my garlic is all coming up. I'm so happy about that my garlic has came up. So I put quite a bit in. I've got some in pots as well, so I'm doing an experiment. I'm going to leave some in the beds, because do you know what? I actually never ever get garlic to grow. I don't know what it is. I can be successful in other things, but garlic seems to be the thing that just beats me every year. So this year I'm on a new plot. I don't know whether or not there was something wrong with my plot. Maybe it was, I don't know. But every time, anywhere I put it, and I didn't have problems with white rot really, because I didn't have any in white rot or anything like that, any allium white rot. It was just garlic just didn't seem to want to grow. And then ironically, the day that I was moving my plot up, I was digging some things up to transplant. These were found from the garlic from the year before, so they seem to be doing okay. They've transplanted, they had a bit of a shock, but they're doing alright. They've grown quite a bit now. So ironically, the time that I actually moved plot, now they decide that they want to grow. So yeah, so the garlic's really taken off now. So obviously it'll go a bit dormant now over the winter months, but then it'll flourish in the spring. So the only thing that hasn't come up as much is the elephant garlic yet. So I'm not sure if that takes a bit longer to come up, but I have just had a look and it is starting to grow. It's just taking a bit longer. So yeah, and also if anyone's got any tips on what I should do with my grapevine, should I cut it back a bit more than I have, then that would be really helpful as well. If you've seen this grapevine when I first came onto this plot, it was an absolute jungle. It was out to here and it was just crazy, so I've cut it all back. I did have some grapes on it this year, but I thought I'd cut it back and let it just have a year now until next year, and then we'll hopefully have some decent grapes. So yeah, so that's what I've done so far. What's going on? Like, I've come up here again in good intentions to put the fence up, and as per usual, it's rained again. It did forecast for rain this afternoon, to be fair, but I came up thinking, oh, I'll just get a few hours done, at least the front done, and it's rained again. So yeah, I've just made myself a cup of coffee, I've cleaned some of my tools, potted around in the shed. So that's like one of the good things about having a shed, if you have one, is just to get out of the rain. I'm just going to head home again. I've come up here today and I've, you know, sorted some things out, like I've decanted some of the dried beans ready for next year's crops, like my runner beans and things. Watered my greenhouse because obviously I've still got Christmas potatoes in, and overwintering my strawberry plants, and I've got some like carrots still in there, and some spring onions. So yeah, it's testing me today again. I got all the tools out. Luckily I did a bit of a tour that you've just seen at the start of the plot. Like, you're going to start thinking that's my plot, that's the only part of my plot that I've got, but that's not the case. Like, you know, there's another like you know, that's like 1/5 of my plot. I just need some good weather to give you a nice little tour of what's happened so far. Like, autumn's coming now, so you know, all I had was summer, and I just ploughed through trying to get everything up, because it was a jungle on this plot, like an absolute jungle. Like 8-foot brambles all over the raspberry canes and some of the fruit bushes. I didn't even know they were under there. So even now, like, because they were already on the plot, I'm not sure really if they were, you know, they're white currants or red currants or black currants, so they have to kind of stay where they are, I think. So I can work out what they are and then decide how many I need of each, you know, each bush really. I've got some metal raised beds that I've ordered, 3 of them, for the bottom of the plot, so that's going to be another video coming up soon. I still need to do my garden pond. I still need to do my allotment pond. I've already done my garden pond, so I need to do my allotment pond, and so I still need to do my allotment pond. So I still need right. So I still need to do my allotment pond at the bottom of the pot. So I still need to do my allotment pond. You won't believe how many times I've done that take. So I still need to do my allotment pond at the bottom of the plot. I want that done now so that the rain fills it up, even though I can still fill it up, you know, myself. I want to be able to fill it up, and then in the spring, hopefully some frogs will bring some frog spawn there, so that I'll have, you know, some frogs, so that will keep the slugs down on the plot. If not, then I'm sure my pond over in my garden, frogs leave frog spawn there as well, and there's other people on the plots that have their ponds, you know, filled to the top with frog spawn, that perhaps they can give me some to put in my plot. But I'm hoping that they'll do it for me. You know, they'll put something in my own pond for me, which is a good start. So much to do this autumn, so I'm gonna continue sending videos out. I know a lot of plot holders on YouTube, they kind of drop down a little bit in the winter and autumn. Like, I'm gonna carry on going through, guys, because I want this to shape for spring. It's not ideal, but that's just the way it needs to be. So, like, I'm lucky I've got this potting shed and I can come out with the rain. Like, I'm lucky that I've got a solar panel on the roof, and I can just turn it off with a switch. I've also got switches for the greenhouse, the potting shed, the chicken coop, and I've also got another switch. Oh, I've also got another switch for the spotlight on the plot. So yeah, it's all run off a solar panel. and a leisure battery. I'll do another video on that actually, because I've looked on YouTube and there's not actually that many videos out there to show you really how to there is for like garden sheds and things, but I think that it's specific that you want it for your allotment shed, that you make sure that you get the right things. Like I've got waterproof switches. I went overkill on some of the things, but yeah, you know, I can charge my phone here, and you know, I've got constant light all the time. It's handy for the chickens as well, because in the winter and the autumn when it's dark, if I need to go in there and collect eggs, or after my shift in work, or I need to go and see if they're okay, I can just come in here first, flick the switches on and go in there. They've got a light in their run, and they've also got a light inside their chicken coop as well, so I'm quite fortunate really that and it's cheap, it's really cheap to do. I'll pop a video up there, so if you're interested in that, in like putting some solar energy in your allotment, drop a comment below, and if there's anything specific that you want to know about it, let me know, because I'm modified this so many times. Like I'll pop a picture up now of my greenhouse when I first did it, and it glowed. Like if an alien was flying past, it probably would have popped down. I'll show you it now. I know. All I put in was 2 LED strips, and I didn't realise, I just popped it, and you should see the small battery that I've got for it, and it's crazy. It absolutely glowed, but it was handy. But I don't want to, you know, encourage people to be looking over to the plot thinking, why is there a glowing greenhouse? I mean, do I really want the police to come in and explain to them why I'm sowing some seeds in the middle of the blooming, you know, 8 o'clock at night after work, and the greenhouse is neon? Yeah. So yeah, so if you do want some information on like solar energy, or also water pumps as well, so I've got I bought a like a Bosch, I'll put it in the description below on when I post a video about the water pumps. But I've got like a Bosch water pump, so I water all my allotment, because we can't have hose pipes here. We can fill up our tanks with a hose pipe, but we can't water crops with it. I'll also pop a video up for that if you're all interested in knowing about that. But also on top of that, I created an automatic timer pump myself out of bits and gadgets off, you know, like that I bought online, quite cheap as well, and it automatically comes on 6 o'clock in the morning. If I go on holiday or things like that, it will water all the tomatoes in the spring and summer, so I am going to worry about them, you know, starving of water. And yeah, so if you're interested in that as well, into like solar energy, or having a video on automatic timing water pumps, again, I looked online and there was one or two that I could, you know, patch together to try and work out exactly how it was done. But I just had to, in the end, just use my own experience and knowledge, and I winged it and it worked, and it's safe. And yeah, so just basically it comes with a little timer. It taps on at 6 AM, which you can choose the time, however many times you want to water, and it just basically turns on a pump from a barrel outside. It pumps it through an irrigation system in the greenhouse, and then it turns back off on the time that you want. So if you're interested in that, drop me a little message below, and you know, if you want that before the spring, so you can get all the bits and bobs in place, then I'm happy to do that as well. So yeah, so thanks for joining again, guys. I might do these little potting chats now and again if you're interested in knowing certain things. I'm going home. Like, the fence can wait again. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, tomorrow I can come over and get it done. I'm going to come really early tomorrow, so hoping I can beat the rain and at least get the fence up. Alright, so thanks for okay, so thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you again soon. Can you believe that we're in the end of October and I'm still getting strawberries? That one should be ready by tomorrow. She is not happy with me taking those eggs. Oh. Sorry girls, I left you full. I don't know why, but that one chicken, she always takes it really personal that I take a few eggs. I do normally wait till she's down in the coop, but obviously I'm in a rush today, so I've annoyed her now. So she'll get over it though, but she is a character.